What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Cooper Bouquet, photographer, videographer. I gotta do these YouTube videos, so I guess I gotta throw that on as videographer, Cajun, veteran, traveler. I do it all. So like, just let y'all see what I'm going through right here. I'm making jewelry. You know, I've been doing a lot of chains and bracelets. I don't really fuck with any rings. I'm gonna just educate, let y'all know one thing. Everything I make is gonna be something different. Like, it ain't gonna be them rope chains, them Cuban links, them Me Too chains. I call them Me Too chains because you wear that, you go in Walmart, you go in AGB, you about to see somebody else with that same style of chain on. Nah, I don't want my people. I don't want my customers having to go through that. You know, yeah, it's cool or whatever, but just me, I like to be different. So I try to appeal to those who want to be different. Like right now, we gonna work on this cloud weave. It's platinum. Gold, everything I do, I'm starting with the pure platinum, pure silver, pure gold. I'm refining it. Well, I ain't gonna, sometimes refine it just depends. Like my stuff, I gotta refine it back down to my pure stuff. But anyway, you know, I'm starting with the pure as a pure metal. I'm taking the PT 950, 925 silver, 18 karat, 10 karat, man, whatever it is, whatever I feel like making, or whatever somebody call me or hit me up and be like, hey, I like that, but put in 10 karat. I got you. That's how I'm operating. So I'm just starting from the pure as pure. So sometimes I might let y'all see how it is with the whole breaking it down with from the 24 down to the 10, 24 down to 18, 24 down to 22, whatever it is. And then sometimes just might be like, hey, look, this is what it is. Like right now, we working on this cloud weave. This is platinum and 18 karat gold. And when I tell you, this is my first platinum piece. And this motherfucker was crazy, bro. Like, shit, man. I've been doing a lot of gold and silver, but platinum, that's a whole nother beast. With the temperatures I gotta use, have a motherfucking your scared. Like, real talk, man. But anyway, I hope y'all like what y'all see. If you got any questions, man, just drop the questions in the comment box. If you like it, then hey, I fuck with it. If you don't like it, then hey, I still fuck with it. Just let me know what you don't like about it, and then I can take that constructive criticism and bounce back from it, and then let me know. Like that's just the type of person I am. You hear me? So, like I said, we're gonna jump into this video. I hope you like what you see. Peace out. So right here, like I said, we got that 18 karat and 950. So PT 950. I alloyed it with ruthenium. But it's my cloud weave. So I had to do my calculations because my rings for my gold coil is a little bit smaller than the rings for my silver one. So I had to make sure I calculated to make sure I get it's something called AR, which is basically your calculations of your ring width to wire diameter. So I had to make sure I get all of that right. The different patterns got different type of ARs. You just got to look into, make sure you do your research on what you're doing, because if you have too big of an AR, then you know your chain gonna look all loose and everything. Got too small, then you're gonna be able to get the rings in, or chain ain't gonna have no maneuverability. So you know, after that we gotta sit here, we gotta cut all these rings. I know it looks tedious, and I'm not gonna lie, it is, man. Cutting and cutting and cutting. Sometimes I spend hours of the day just sitting here cutting through the rings, and you just gotta be careful you don't cut your fingernails or cut your finger. It's all really fine, and it hurts. I've done it quite a few times, man. Sawing through your finger hurts. Like I ain't like cut the finger off, but I gotta made a couple little nicks, and like, damn, let me be a little bit more careful, because I just be trying to get it done, man. All right, so one thing you're gonna notice, like if you look at that top right, I know it's a little blurry, I'm sorry about that. But if you look at the top right, I got a couple rings that's already closed. So the easiest way that I've started doing it is I close a couple rings first, because it's gonna be 4 rings all together. So if you close 2 of them and then put it inside of an open ring already, then solder your open ring that you just looped it through. Now you got your 3 rings all together. If you want to sit there and go ring by ring, you can do it like that, but it's easier to solder a ring when it's by itself versus whenever they all grouped up together. Cause you know, you can make the mistake in heating up your other one, running your solder from the other one if you heat it up too much. So you just gotta be very, very cautious. And another thing I want to point out is whenever you solder in your rings, you gotta make sure you heat up both sides equally. Because if not, your solder is gonna run to whatever side the hottest side. So you just gotta be careful up on that. Just try to keep them both. You know, you'll see your metals changing color and everything. You'll see one of them a little bit more redder than the other one. If it's too high, or you'll know the hard way whenever your solder just runs to the other side of the ring, the jump ring. Let me clarify that, the jump ring, and then you're gonna be like, damn, I gotta try to get to this side. So you know, just try to make sure you put your solder evenly between the gap, and just heat them up equally, and it's pretty much fail proof, man. So you know, after we get these 3 rings together, we're throwing the 4th ring on. So you know, same thing with this 4th ring. We're gonna solder it together once we have it looped into the other 3 rings. And like I said, follow the same principle. Just make sure whenever you closing your jump rings, you try to get them touching. You gotta have them touching. It just makes for a cleaner solder and everything. Have them touching. Some people file them before they solder their jump rings. It depends on how my cuts look. Is really depend on if I'm gonna file it or not. But yeah, so we're gonna get these four rings together. Solder your 4th ring up onto the other 3 that you already have. So essentially, it's gonna be like 1 ring facing one way, the other one facing the other way, the one facing the other way, the other one facing the other way. Like 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. It's just the nature of the beast. It's pretty much kind of hard to mess that up. You know, once we make sure that we got all of these rings soldered together, and then, you know, it's better to get like quite a few of them versus going one by one. Like me, I try to get them all together, like do a bunch of them at one time, especially if I know that I'm making my bracelet gonna be a certain length. I mean, my chain gonna be a certain length, or well, I can say bracelet too, because I want my stuff 7 inches before the class. So it's just makes it a little bit easier just to knock off a bunch of solders out at one time versus like making one cloud and then boom, having to go through the whole process over. So you know, it just all depends on what you feel comfortable with. That's just the way I do it. You might feel you're more comfortable with it a different way. It's just the way I felt comfortable with it. All right, so this is where the fun part begins at. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your 1st ring and your last ring, and you're gonna flip it the opposite way, where it's gonna look like 4. It's gonna be like a 4-leaf clover. You pretty much you're gonna flip the one to the left, you're gonna flip it down, the one to the right, you're gonna flip it up. And then after that, this is the hard part. You gotta like thread so the ring that you just flipped and the one on the side of it, you gotta try to thread you another ring of the same of the gold ring between those right there, and it's gonna lock them in together. But I have a little problem right here, because sometimes, you know, your ring might, while you're doing one end of it, the ring might fall out from the other end, and then it's very easy to lose track of how the pattern is supposed to have gone if one ring falls out, because it doesn't look the same as it did when you picked it up. It really doesn't. So just try to be careful on that part. Me, I would lie to you if I said it was. I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said that part right there was easy. But you know, like I said, same concept. Another thing I've done is whenever I get one end of it closed, if I'm able to get to my pliers without dropping or anything, then I just squeeze it slightly closed. That way it's just enough, not enough to close the ring fully, but just enough that I know that the ring ain't gonna fall out whenever I go to do the other side, or if I pick it up. So you know, once you get those 2 rings in, then you're going to solder the 2 rings that you just put on, just like all the other ones. I solder every ring that I do, every jump ring, every chain. I solder every individual link. Some people don't. If you have your metal work hard enough, I guess you don't have to worry about it coming out. But it's just me, myself. That's just what I do. So what we're gonna be left with is these 6 rings. That's pretty much a cloud. You know, I know it looks kind of weird, but you'll understand as the pattern go on, like how that plays into effect. So you know, as of right now, right here we got the platinum rings going on. I don't know if you could really tell, but they're a little bit bigger. I don't need as much as the platinum rings as I need as the gold, because with each cloud of the gold is 6 rings. I'm just using the platinum rings to interlink the rings together. So basically you could do math and go 6 divided by whatever amount of clouds you're gonna have, and you're gonna equal up the amount of rings you want. Or you can just do like I did, just cut rings, and if you need more, make more. If you don't need more, don't make more. What you wanna do now is your last 2 rings that you just put through the four, through the entire four. You want one of them in the northeast area and the other one in the southeastern area. That's the best way to describe it. When you try to close those two and you make them touch, you're gonna be left with a ring all the way to the right that's gonna be kind of sticking out. You want to take your platinum ring and you want to thread it through all three of those rings. Right here, you just gotta be really careful, man, because quite a few times I messed up. You know, that's the platinum, the temperature that platinum solders at, the temperature that platinum melts at is extremely higher than gold. So if you don't have that flame aimed properly, you're gonna touch one of those gold rings, and when you touch one of them gold rings, it's gonna melt. I've messed up probably about two or three different segments on this piece trying to get that part done. Mainly, you just want to hold your hand steady, man. Like, just keep it on your seams. Like I said, on both sides of your weld. As soon as you see that platinum melt, remove that flame. Any longer, then you might risk damaging your gold or whatever metals you got linked to it. If you mess with all platinum, then you're pretty much good. But just make sure you take that flame off as soon as you see that solder melt. All right, y'all, we're gonna pause this for right there, man. I didn't want to bore y'all too much. First of all, let me see. I know it look like my hand moving hella fast, but nah, I'm moving slow as a motherfucker, man. I had to speed up. I didn't want to bore y'all too much. Like, I'll be hours and hours and hours, and yeah, I couldn't do that. So I had to like speed up a little bit. So I didn't want y'all to know my hand ain't moving that fast, especially on the sawing. I know it look like, I ain't about to say, but I know it look crazy, but like, nah, I'm just trying to like show y'all the process, speed it up a little bit. Y'all stay tuned. You know, the bracelet ain't finished. I'm gonna show y'all how we're gonna turn this right here and this right here. I know y'all saw it in the video. I'll show y'all how we're gonna turn this into the class. Y'all stay tuned. I still gotta make another class. I need to make a silver class actually for my Byzantine. Probably throw that in the next video too. But yeah, y'all stay posted. I hope y'all like what y'all saw. Like I said, drop a like, drop a subscribe. Peace out.